I want to get this video started off by saying that honestly this involved a lot of luck on my end, but also by the end of this video you're gonna realize that honestly it just takes a little bit of effort every single day for you to get to the same goal as me. So let's get started. Alright, now I want to really talk about my background in general. So I'm a mechanical engineering graduate and pretty much recently graduated in 2019, and since I started I was working mostly in a construction field, so as a project coordinator and things like that. So really, what I want you to take from that is I had no experience in software development whatsoever before getting this job. And what I really want to emphasize as well is that I was also an engineering student. So in our first year, we generally take these general courses. And in those courses, one of them would be introductory programming class. So I can't sit here and say that I'm completely unfamiliar with programming. I started off with Python, the introductory Python course in 2014. So honestly, that's as much experience I have in programming, and ever since then I've probably tried to get into programming, get out of it and things like that, but honestly nothing really worked out. And that's what I really wanted to teach in this video, of how I went about effectively learning how to program. Another thing I really wanted to kind of get out of your head and kind of just stop to any doubts or any excuses that you guys may have. So the way I started to learn programming is through a free online course. No, I didn't go to a boot camp. No, I didn't take any formal education. I didn't pay for anything. All I really had is what you probably have and what you're watching with this video on. A laptop, a mouse, a keyboard. A couple monitors would help as well. The website I used was called the Odin Project, and what these guys offer is really phenomenal, especially since it's a free online resource. They offer kind of two courses. I think the first one would be the Ruby on Rails. So it's a full stack development course, and the second one would be a full stack JavaScript course. And the one I chose was JavaScript, full stack JavaScript. And the reason I chose this was because I feel like just in my area, JavaScript, learning React and things like that are more common. And the beauty about the Odin Project is that they kind of take you through the whole process from beginning to end. So first of all, it's free, so you can't go wrong there. And second of all, the way they teach you in the Odin Project isn't the way you would normally learn, such as through a YouTube video or something like that. I was probably just like some of you guys, where you went onto a YouTube video, try to follow their kind of like tutorials and seeing how they would code, and then you kind of just went about coding along with them. And then by the end of the video, you're just sitting there wondering like, what did I even learn? And I can't even move on to the next problem or try to make your own project or anything like that. It just becomes stuck in your head. But the way they teach you in the Odin Project is say for example you want to have make a TikTok, what the heck, a tic-tac-toe app. So say you want to do that, and that would be a project in the Odin, that would be an example project in the Odin Project. So before that, they would teach you all the things that are necessary to build that app, and then when it's time for the project, they'd give you like kind of an outline of how the basic structure of how you want to go about it. And then it would be pretty much up to you. You do your own research, you go back to your resources and check how you would want to implement the code and how you want to go about it, and then you just kind of build it yourself. And honestly, every task and every project in the Odin Project is pretty much set up like this. So it's all really things that you can add to your personal portfolio and kind of grow your own problem solving skills. That's what the main thing is. Problem solving is one of the biggest things the Odin Project teaches you, and I really feel like it'll translate well into the new job that I'll be going into. So another thing I really like about the Odin Project is that they really set you up for success. So what I mean by that is they don't start you off like other coding courses where they're just kind of typing on the screen and watching the tutorials and typing on the screen. They make you set up like as if you were working in a professional setting. So you would install your virtual machine, install Linux, and install your VS Code and things like that. So have your working environment set up fully. And then they also really grind into GitHub. Every project you pretty much make, you're pretty much sending commits to GitHub like every second, making you really commit to it, set up branches and things like that. So by the time you get into the working environment, you'll be really familiar with things like this. And I feel like lacking that type of information makes you look really bad in a working setting. Like you can come in and it's not like it's very complex things, it's very basic things, but if you've never done it before, it just it kind of trips you out a little bit, you know? So what do you actually learn in the Odin project? Well, the main thing that they teach you is complete web development, full stack. So I can only really speak on the JavaScript section, but in the JavaScript section, you would start off by learning CSS, HTML, and JavaScript, the fundamentals of web development. And once they grind your gears and make you really learn DOM manipulation, object-oriented programming, and things like that, and really get you used to things like that, they'll start introducing the React framework. And this React framework, pretty much, I don't know, I can't say enough good things about that. It really takes a lot of the more complicated things that the JavaScript makes you do, like regarding like DOM manipulation and things. It really simplifies it and makes it really easy. But once you really get into it, it's easier to understand. I just want to give you like a high-level overview, and that's all on the front end. So for the backend section, it introduces Node.js, Express, the Express framework, and then for the backend database stuff, they introduce MongoDB, and also let you play around with a couple APIs. And that pretty much summarizes the overall backend part. But honestly, if you really want to really get into it and see what the details are, go to the odinproject.com and kind of just browse around there and see what you like, see what you don't like. And honestly, it's not like the Odin project is the only thing. Also, Free Code Camp, I know a couple of people that got jobs from that as well. So honestly, just find out what you think you can do, and you'll be fine. You'll be in good shape if you have a good solid course to just follow. But my recommendation, the Odin project's #1. Now, before I get into some of my study tips and how you can come out of this video a little bit more prepared to be finding your new job and starting your new career, why don't you go down and click that subscribe button. Honestly, this is one of my first videos, and I would really appreciate it if you guys did. And I think I'm just gonna start this new little YouTube journey and see where it takes me. I feel like you guys will help me learn a little bit more about programming, and I think I can teach you guys a little bit more about programming as well. Hit that like button as well, and leave a comment. And for your comment, why don't you guys tell me a little bit about your background? I want to see who I'm talking to, what your ambitions are, if you already have a programming job, if you don't have a programming job, what your goals are, things like that. I just want to get to know you guys a little bit better and see what my next few videos are going to be like. Because right now, just winging it. This is on the fly right now. But I knew this one was going to be my first video, so hit that subscribe button, and we'll see what we can do later on. Alright, so the next thing that I want to tell you guys a little bit about is not something that exactly got me this job, but I feel like in the future I'm really gonna be going all in on this little tidbit of information here. And it's mainly to do with data structures and algorithms. For the job that I currently had, I didn't really have to do any coding questions or anything during the interview, but data structures and algorithms are definitely a huge part of just being in your programming journey. Whether you like it or not, you're gonna get these questions later on, if not now, later on in your career. So I feel like starting off early as soon as possible is the best thing you can possibly do. And one of the best resources that I've found recently, and I feel like it's one of the best kept secrets in the programming world right now, is it's called can't say it, but I'll put the name here somewhere, but yeah, guy named Alvin, great guy. He works at Google, and he kind of put together this course for data structures and algorithms, kind of those lead code type questions that you would generally get in interview. And he kind of put together a course where you can go through it step by step, and he kind of teaches this kind of a similar way to the Odin project, where you start off with those easy questions. He teaches you exactly step by step about how to tackle those algorithms and how to tackle those problems and things like that. And then slowly but surely, they'll start building on it. So getting into more of those lead code medium questions, starting off with those lead code easy, and then building up until lead code medium to lead code hard. I don't know. I don't know if I've gotten into a lead code hard problem yet, but I'm like halfway done that, and honestly, I've learned so much from him. So quick shout out for Alvin and Structly. Can't say it, but shout out to Alvin. One of the main study tips I would actually love to give was something that I never even used during my undergrad, but recently I picked up because I was learning the Odin project and I really wanted to get a little bit disciplined. Was it's called the Pomodoro technique. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but it's basically the summary of that is you pick a task, whatever it is, you work hard at it for like 25 minutes and then you take a 5-minute break. So you go hard again for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break. 25 minutes, 5-minute break. And you keep going as long as possible. And I don't know, there must be some kind of psychology behind this. Some guy must have did some stats behind this, but it really gets you into this weird kind of zone where you're pretty much focused on this. And another main thing, you gotta chuck your phone, man. I don't, just looking at your phone and playing around with that, honestly, is probably the biggest distraction. So what I did was download an app called Study Break. I'll put a link in the description or something, or whatever. I'll put whatever the name of the actual app is called. And what this app does, it kind of shuts away your phone. So it gives you the timer and everything, unless you set up how much time you want to do for the studying part, and then how long you want your break to be. It could be really anything, but you can kind of find out what works best for you. Some people do like 40 minutes on and 20 minutes off, or 40 minutes on and 5 minutes off, whatever you want. And doing that really helped me a lot and get a lot done. Like in the app, you can actually track how many hours you put in. And this past October, I think I put in like 100 hours of straight studying. So when you look at things like that, it gets you a little bit more motivated and gets your it almost becomes like a video game. Like, okay, I wanna get, like, say for 1 week you did 10 hours of studying, so next week you kind of want to, it feels like you're kind of battling yourself and you want to get like 12 hours, 13 hours, and just it keeps you motivated. It adds you another layer of kind of challenge to your studying, and it makes it a little bit more exciting. So now that you've gone through all the courses, you've done as much studying as you can, what about the actual job application part? And one of the main and best advice I ever got was apply way before you're ready. And that's pretty much what happened to me. So for the Odin project, once I got past the React part, honestly, I really didn't finish this the whole course. I pretty much skipped a lot of the React like just like the projects and stuff like that, and I went directly to the backend portion. So I kind of skimmed through all the backend portion, got as much information as I can, learned a little bit as much as I can, and then I just really want to get into the part where I create my own app. So I went ahead and created my own app. It's like a little bit of a NBA fantasy app where it pulls data from an API and saves it into your own portfolio. So I use MongoDB, save a profile so you can log in, sign up, and I feel like having a whole app like that is a whole app that's unique and kind of catered to your personality. I like basketball, so I created an app that involved basketball. So having something like that really shows the employer that you're capable of something. So what I would do first is apply as early as possible. So whenever you feel like you have that first thought of, oh, maybe I should apply, just start applying. Make it. One project will get you through plenty of projects, so you'll have a lot to put on your resume. And just say the technology you've used and put whatever. I'm not expert on resume, but main thing is just get the gears going. And in the background, create an app that a full stack application that's more custom towards you and your own personalities. Because doing something like that will make you kind of enjoy doing it as well. So it'll keep you motivated and it'll look really good on the employer's part as well. It's like, oh, okay, this guy thought of an idea and wants to learn and apply his knowledge in his own way. So something like that, and I think you'll be in a really good shape when it comes to the employer's eyes. We're just juniors, man. They're not expecting any perfection out of you or anything like that. So just don't be hard on yourself. Apply and show the employer what you got. So that's what I would say. So now let's get into what my actual job is. So basically, I'm a front end developer. And well, I don't want to say too much about what the company is, but just to summarize, they're primarily a trucking company, but in the background they have a software for truck management, so yard management. So they provide services, a web application for trucking. So let's just leave it at that and say that. And they're trying to revamp their new their old website and to make a new more modern website. So they brought me in as a junior developer to kind of tackle that. And the whole interview process involved first an HR person called me, and we just had a quick discussion of what the company was about and what my goals were and what kind of experience I have that I can bring to the table. And I just pretty much told them the truth, like I'm ex mechanical engineering grad. my experience and what I've been doing in the Odin project. And then I got to the second round. The second round was with the VP of the department and the lead software dev, and he pretty much took me through like their software pretty much. And I think the main part that I think that they really liked is that I kept asking questions as he was showing me. Like I was showing that I really understood what the software was about, and that I was willing to ask some tough questions to my the lead software dev. So just showing that you can kind of like think and come up with problems or solutions, or like kind of like I guess in a sense like test cases or like constraints that the employer may have for the website. I think things like that really show that you can do the job properly, and that because pretty much that's what all programming is: problem solving, doing constraints, test cases, and just overall things like that. And the third interview involved the same people, the VP and the software lead. And this was a little bit of a unique interview. I don't know if many people have done this before, but I had to show them the full stack app that I was making. And honestly, at that point, I really wasn't even completely finished it, but they wanted to see it anyway since I talked about it throughout my past interviews. So I showed it to them, and he asked me how I would go about debugging things. So kind of going through the getting an error, going through the console and things like that. And I tried to show him a problem that I was having, and honestly on the fly I feel like I got really lucky, because just the way I showed him what the problem was and I showed him how I was solving it on the fly like that, and I did end up coming a little bit step closer to finding the solution during the interview. So it was a really cool experience, and I was showing him kind of like exactly what they wanted, someone who can debug, problem solve and things like that all by themselves, just with a little bit of nudging from my the software dev as well. So that was my final interview there. Okay, that brings us pretty much to the end of the video. In the future, I really want to get into more depth about how I built the applications and what other resources that you guys can use to really get into this programming career and start your new future as a programmer. And honestly, the one thing I want you guys to take away from this video is that the main thing that really brought me success in these 6 months was being consistent every day. And you don't have to go that hard into it where you're just kind of dashing away your friends, telling them you'll never meet them again because all you have to do is program day in and day out. No, just pick a time. I was working full time, so all I had was around 2 hours a day to put into this. 2 hours a day during the week, and then 10 hours during the weekend. And once you get into that rhythm and that routine, and you'll find that it's not a matter of how you feel that day, whether you want to do the programming or you want to go through the projects or anything like that. It's just a matter of that you're so consistent. Let's just be a little bit more consistent for another day and another day, and eventually you'll find yourself that you're 6 months into it and you have an offer right in front of you. So honestly, it was a great experience just going through all of this, and I'm feeling blessed and really appreciative. So I hope you guys can continue on with this journey with me, and I'm sure together we'll be able to learn a little bit more about programming and just how the software development world works, because I'm learning just as much as you guys are. So I'll see you guys on the next video. See ya.